Yeah, here we go. Arizona Democrat finally sworn in after government shutdown ended. We have the update. Here it is.
What is most concerning is not what this administration has done, but what the majority in this body has failed to do. Hold Trump accountable as a co-equal branch of government that we are. It has been 50 days since the people of Arizona's 7th Congressional District elected me to represent them. 50 days that over 800,000 Arizonans have been left without access to the basic services that every constituent deserves. This is an abuse of power. One individual should not be able to unilaterally obstruct the swearing in of a duly elected member of Congress for political reasons. That is why I will sign the discharge petition right now to release the Epstein files.
Representative Adelita came in swinging. This is when you know what kind of leader somebody is going to be. She was just sworn in. She had to be sworn in standing next to the same cat that unlawfully decided to wait 50 days to do so. Let's put it up for a mask. And I'm sure, as they always do, niceties are shared. You know it wasn't personal, right? Welcome aboard. Glad to have you in the U.S. Congress. Probably gave her a little pin to wear on her lapel. Invited her to a fancy dinner with some lobbyists, some money people. But once she got on that stage, when she got the opportunity to address the people, she clearly said exactly what was on her mind. Let's get into it. Arizona can now finally say they have their duly elected representative sworn into Congress after a 50-day delay, and has signed a much anticipated petition for a vote to release files on the deceased child sex predator Jeffrey Epstein. House Republicans, led by none other than Mike Johnson, dragged their feet on letting the representative officially join ranks, using the government shutdown as their poor excuse. Obviously, supporters have openly speculated that the delay is only driven by the fact that she would be the 218th signature in the House for a petition to vote to release the Epstein files. The irony is that before she got sworn in a few days ago, it was revealed that Trump is mentioned in email correspondence, where it seems as if, well, he definitely knew about the, let's just say, illegal recreational activities of this trafficker. The deal to end the government shutdown meant that the speaker could not put off swearing her in anymore, and Wednesday brought several news reports that the White House had been putting intense pressure on House Republicans, including Boebert, to flip and revoke their signatures. It's a damn shame. However, as several commenters have pointed out, the House discharge petition is not the final step for the release of the files. It will still need to pass the Senate and get the signature of Donald Trump. Now, in more Epstein revelations, Trump's relationship with the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein continued into his first term in the White House, so much so that Epstein spent Thanksgiving with Trump while the president was in office. That's according to newly released emails written by the late financier. Democrats on the House Oversight Committee released a new batch of emails Wednesday obtained from Epstein's estate, followed by the Republican-led panel's release of 20,000 additional documents. And one of those exchanges shows he claims to have spent Thanksgiving 2017, Trump's first as president, at his private Mar-a-Lago resort. Now, why is that such a big deal? Because this was after it was known that he was a child sex trafficker. That's why. So he's at the house of the then president of the United States. There's more. Epstein exchanged emails on Thanksgiving morning, November 23rd, 2017, with Manhattan modeling management guru Faith Cates, who asked where he was spending the holiday. He told her he would spend the day with Eva, likely a reference to his former girlfriend. And Cates mentions Addison Dubin's husband, Glenn Dubin, by name and asks, who else is down there? Epstein names Trump, hedge fund founder David Fitzgerald, and someone else he referred to as Hansen. White House records and contemporaneous media reports show Trump spent Thanksgiving 2017 at Mar-a-Lago, but the White House did not disclose a guest list. Trump took FBI agents off the streets in order to redact his name. Trump has placed pressure on members of Congress to not sign a petition to release the Epstein files. Trump appoints individuals who are all about releasing the files. He appointed them to key positions, FBI director, DOJ, etc., AG. So now you have all these key individuals. Where's your deputy FBI director? All of these folks were release the file people. Why appoint release the file people if you're not going to release the file? Well, easy. Because see, those are the most credible people to tell you there's no file to release. So you appoint individuals who are not qualified for the job, but they are qualified in one aspect. They had credibility with the Epstein release the file folk. But if they tell you there's no file, you believe them, or at least that is his plan, allegedly. All right, dear brother, thoughts?
I don't understand how America is still worried about the Epstein files. Don't you remember when Obama wore a tan suit? Let's go after Obama. He wore a tan suit one day. Do we not remember when America lost their minds when President Obama wore a tan suit, and yet for some reason the Epstein files is not a recurring, almost January 6th like episode? We should be fighting for these files because of what they are, what they mean, and most importantly, what they stand for. The lack of transparency in the government, to the point where for years we were told there were files, and then one day they told us there weren't. Man was prosecuted because there were files, and now they refuse to release them. What are they holding and what are they hiding? Why are we going through this as an American public? This is why the Epstein files, they are indicative of the corruption in the government that needs to be rooted and weeded out. And President Trump seems to be leading the corruption at this date and time. We have the situation with Congressperson Grijalva from Arizona, who came out swinging as a reminder of why we need more people like her, and more importantly, more women in the government. This is what is needed. We need that fire, that passion, that truth, that honor, that sincerity, that integrity back in the American government. And now we see once again, we are being railroaded, gaslit, and all the things when it comes to this Epstein file. America, stand up, rise up. They work for you. The government works for you. We do not work for them. By the way, the government shutdown reminded me, maybe we really don't need a government that bad. Just saying, think about it.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, how people are okay. It's our leaders who are messed up. Because if you go out to a general marketplace, you go to the store, you go to a restaurant, people are fine. People are absolutely okay. They can get along with each other. They'll talk to each other. It's the leaders who are jacked up.